Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Candice along with Willy, and I believe Anthony has called in.
Hello, everybody.
Anthony?
It's great to be back.
Yeah, we were away, obviously, our normal break. But we have so much to talk about, and I think Carolyn is on.
Yeah, I'm here.
What happens when you do live? Yay! This is what happens when you do live, folks, obviously. Hope everybody is doing well. We're gearing up for October, but welcome to fall. And with fall comes a lot of drama on the 4 soaps.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, so we're gonna dive in because there, like I said, fall means drama, which means Days of Our Lives. Who's been we had some people leaving, we had some presumed dead reports, and quickly we're missing Greg Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh my
already.
Lord. Candice, have you been hearing the storm front that's been going on with the day spans?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay, here's another topic for you. Now, what is going on? Because I had just heard about this, so bear with me if I'm late on this. But what is this that I hear about? Steve Burton is leaving Port Chuck, not the show. He's leaving the group.
Well, he was just reminiscing about that. Obviously Corona. It's kind of slower everything down. So it's not like he's leaving. First and foremost, he's not leaving the show. No. He was just reminiscing and stuff. So I'm not too all familiar with. I do know about Port Chuck because I've seen them live before. But he's not leaving. Some people was confused about Port Charles. They thought he was leaving General Hospital. He's not. It's just the band is taking a breather, a break. But who knows? They might come back with the greatest hits album. I'm just saying.
Well, that's good.
Billie
during
Jean,
this pandemic, it's good they're being careful.
At the next concert. Yeah, and if you haven't checked out Port Chuck, go on YouTube, check them out. Billie Jean is like a great song that they cover, and I think they did Careless Whispers when I saw them, so that was good. But before we get into anything else, I really want to know what's going on in Salem. I mean, I know, but I'm trying to hype this up for our listeners. I want to know what's going on in Salem because I heard there's a lot going on. What's happening?
Have you been watching?
Well, once again, Allie's the center of attention, and well, I don't know if this is already out or if it's because I'm catching up a little bit with the dates too during the week, so you can bear with me here, Candice. But apparently, Allie's accusing Tripp of being a rapist.
We'll talk about that later because I got an issue, but I want our queen of Salem. Oh, I'm gunning after some people tonight with this one. So I would like for our queen of Salem. Let me roll out the red carpet. This is a long red carpet. To give us the deets on Salem. So go ahead, madam.
Well, where where do we want to start? Gwen and the Meds, Justin and Bonnie, Ben and Sierra. Where do we want to start?
I'm going to let you roll the dice. Roll the dice like Ron does in King Cordelia days. Roll the dice to see where we land. And yes.
Okay, here we go. And it looks like Gwen. Looks like Gwen.
Hey!
Who saw it today?
I saw it today. I saw that nice little nod. Willy, did you see it?
I don't know why they didn't catch on when she flew across the room and spilled the coffee all over Chad.
It's been very entertaining. I love the scenes with Chad, whoever Chad has scenes with, because he's such a comical, fun character to play off of anybody.
Yes.
It's just great seeing Billy Flynn flex those little acting muscles with like anybody, whether it's going to be like Gwen, Abby, Jake. I like to see him interact with more people, like maybe Belle and Sean, because his energy is it's enigmatic. It's very strong.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. He kind of can he can play off of anybody, and he has that little smile, you know.
He does.
Yes. So
I know a lot of people don't seem to like Gwen, but I like her energy because it's kind of like the opposite of what she played on Young and the Restless as Jaina, and on this one she's a little troublemaker, but I really enjoy her character. I can get where they kind of get tired of her biting her nails though.
Oh yeah, the nail biting is that's annoying. I'll have to go and see some videos of her on. You said she was on the YNR.
Yeah, she was on Young and the Restless.
Yeah, she was Jaina.
Okay.
She was married to Kevin Fisher.
Okay. I'll have to go in and see because I don't know. I'm not too crazy about her on this. Do you like her? What about you, Candice?
You know what?
Am I in?
Anthony!
Hey!
Anthony,
I had an Instacart debacle. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Hi, Anthony.
It's okay. We're just talking about Gwen on Days of Our Lives. And I was about to share my thoughts. You know what? You know I like her. Wait a minute.
I like her too.
Okay, we both like her. And for a minute there, they had a little drought. They had a dry spell. And that's fine. It's okay. But now, yes. I want to know, like, is she the daughter? Like, what is the connection? Because if you remember her character description, it said that she was interacting with more, with several characters other than Jake and Claire. So we have Chad. Obviously, we have Abby. We have Dr. Ralph. Who else is she? Who is she connected? Who is her daddy? Who is her mother? Who is like? I want this to be, because this is a huge setup, especially with Gwen being behind the drugging of Abby. We was trying to figure out for months, and we even said some stuff about Chad. Like, could he be still
wait till you find out. Wait till you find out who her dad is. It's going to make a lot of sense, because if you look and you pay attention when she's on, the clues are kind of there. She's definitely targeting Abby, but there's going to be other people she goes after. But pay close attention to her, because she is very connected to someone in town.
She may be Peter Blake's daughter. There, I said it. Days go.
It's really deep.
Okay,
yeah.
And I think she's Ava's daughter.
Oh.
Doesn't
remember Ava returns. Ava returns this month.
Doesn't that throw a cute little monkey wrench into things?
Anthony, let's do it. Let's do this pairing up. Ava and Peter.
Ooh, I like that.
Not the GH version, but the Days version. Let's go there with that.
Yes.
Could they do it though?
Baby, can you make me another one?
You know what? I really think they could. because Ron's a really good writer, and I'm giving him credit for this. He did really good when he was on GH, so I give him credit here. He can really push the limits on bringing characters back, and not just from the dead. He could bring up characters back from the past and revitalize them, and I'm really excited for Ava's return.
Listen, the only thing that's been stopping Peter coming back to town is the fact that they can't have Missy on screen with what's his name at the same time because of all the drama that went down, behind the scenes with the two of them, aka, real life soap opera when there was a cheating situation going on. And now that Melissa Reeves cannot come back for a while, and she is being recast by the one, the only Katie McClain. Thank you for somebody snapping my girl back up and bringing her back on our television every day.
I love you, Katie.
It is the perfect time to bring a Mr. Peter Blake back, especially if you're not going to keep him. If you're going to bring him in for an arc and then kill him off and do a whodunit, perfect timing. By the time Melissa Reeves reprises the role, he'd be gone. Perfect. Days perfect stunt casting. I guarantee that she is at least Ava's daughter, and if she is Ava and Peter's daughter, that would be phenomenal.
So I've got a question for all of you. What do you feel, because Sammy just left, what would you feel if they were to try to bring EJ back, whether it's James Scott or a recast? How do you feel about EJ returning at all?
Okay, first off, Allison Sweeney will be back by November on air. Yeah. So, but yes, I absolutely think that they need to bring the character of EJ back. I hope it's James Scott. He did a whole bunch of fan events before COVID started. But at this point,
I keep hearing rumors they want to bring EJ back into the set of the the canvas of Days. But the question is, will they recast or will they bring back James Scott? That's my question for you. Do you want James Scott back as EJ, or would you rather take a recast?
No, of course I would rather have James Scott. But you know what? If he's not available or whatever, there are quite a few actors who could play him. That I would accept.
Say it.
Who would you recast? Who would you recast as EJ?
Oh, this is easy for me. Okay, now no shade against James Scott. I do love him, and I do think that EJ is sort of like is a needed character because of what's going on with the family. If they can't get James back, and there's a recast, and I know Dave's fans, the word recast has been brought up a lot on social media regarding certain characters, but if the writing is there for the character, the actor that I would like to see, and surprisingly some other people agree, is Daniel Goddard.
I agree with you on Daniel Goddard, but I have another one to throw in the mix, and I cannot remember his name in real life, but the guy who played Paul's son.
Which show?
On The Young and the Restless, Paul's son.
Young and the Restless.
You know what I'm talking about, Candice.
Ricky?
Yeah. Shoot, what the heck? And I was just thinking about him the other day. Oh, God.
He would be an excellent EJ.
Yes.
Oh, my God, I should know this. I should know this because I know the daytime hunk, and I'm going to... Hold on,
Anthony. Hold up, I got another one for you. Murray Bartlett. Think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Think about Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I found him. Peter Port.
We could do a
Peter Port?
A poll on
Is that who you're talking about?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. My mind was thinking like, okay, I remember Ricky from Young and the Restless. I forgot his name, which shame on me because I usually know his name. Peter Port is Paul Williams and Isabel's son. So I remember. Yeah, he would be a great. Yeah, he would be a great addition to Days. Yeah, great cast. That'd be a great casting choice.
Who'd be an interesting casting choice? And again, another name that I cannot off the top of my head get, but the guy who played Ford on One Life to Live.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
I forget his name too.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I'm gonna. I'll find it real quick. What is his name? David A. Gregory.
David A. Gregory, yes. Pairing him up with Sammy. Oh my God!
Okay,
that was hotness galore. Yes.
But you know what? Okay, we're gonna mix him into the mix of Days. If he can't play EJ, he could also play Vivian's. What is it? Vivian's grandson, Nicholas.
Yeah,
so if you're gonna bring Nicholas back, they need to bring Victor Weber back. Oh.
Wait a minute, I'm going to stand for that one. I'm standing for that one.
Okay, I've got to give it up to Days. They really made me laugh when Sammy is upset that Eric is leaving, and when she goes to see Eric, he surprises her by slamming the door in her face. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
That was the term of "I love you too." That's just their thing. They still love each other. It's a nice moment.
But you got to give it a Ron. He really has the humor to Days, and I love it. That's Ron for you. I mean, that's how you write a soap.
You know,
you write some humor.
I got to give it up to Ron in some respects, and I got to slam the door in Ron's face in some respects. I mean, what did you just do with Kristen? Okay, you know, you have given us a couple of characters that we don't know who they are. For the last year, who the hell? You know, when Hope was back to being Hope, she still wasn't Hope. I don't know who she was. She wasn't Gina no more, but she wasn't Hope.
No. It was a mixture. Here's the problem. So, I think we all heard the interview with Ken Corday, correct?
Yes,
we all hear?
Girl.
I haven't heard it, but if someone sends it to me, I'd love to hear it.
On the digest.
I'll give you the gist. Yeah, it's on the digest. I'll give you the Cliff Note versions of it. So basically, Ken Corday said that he assisted, let me just say that, assisted with the storylines, okay? Meaning break down the theories and threw out some ideas for Ron and them to kind of fulfill the script, okay? So basically now, the beginning of this year, and you know, pretty much 2020 is all Ron. In other words, Ken did not interfere at all with any of the writing. So whatever happens between the time frame of when they came back to work early this year to when they returned, this is all Ron. So when you asked about earlier about certain things that has been dropped on social media that's been confirmed by media outlets, I'm like Anthony. There's some things that I will give Ron credit for, and anybody who knows me always say that I have something against Ron. It's nothing against Ron. It's just, to me, this is your third show, and I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to separate what I've seen to what I'm seeing now. But I'm still having that feel, like, I don't know, maybe it's a Days thing, but for me being a show fan and seeing the same things on all three shows, I'm getting a little irritated. Now back to Gwen, because I really think that's Peter Blake's child. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, please.
Girl, I'm gonna be the one to say it, and I know this man in real life. We have bowled together, you know, in Rav's Bowling in Staten Island. He's a good friend of Anthony Wilkinson, who used to be a writer on One Life to Live. Ron and I have had flirtations, et cetera, et cetera. And Ron knows, if you are listening, Ron, you know I have been trying to get you on this show for the longest time. You know I love you. But the deal is this, Ron, and I have gone back and forth with him in text messaging. You did it with General Hospital, and they basically, you know, lambasted you for it. You're now doing it with Days again. You know, Agnes Nixon never repeated a storyline. Point blank, period. She came up with something fresh for what, 38 years? 40-something years?
Yeah.
Candice, I don't know the numbers, but you do. You know, she came up with fresh storyline every year. You know, you cannot keep recycling, even if you're tweaking them and changing them and this and that. I mean, let's face it. Abby was Just Test Part 2, you know, Part 3 really, because it was Connie, what's her name, Kate Connie. So honestly, Abby was, you know, Kate Connie Part 2, which was really Part 2 of Just Test.
Here's the thing, and we're going to get back to the topics here. It's just, to me right now, I'm really having issues. Let me just say this. There's some good stuff on Days of Our Lives that I'm just like, ooh, like Gwen. Like, she's a ooh. I can't wait to see what happens. And having her be a part of the Abby drugging, I didn't see that coming. So that's what you want. That's what you need. But the whole twin thing with Jake and stuff on, okay.
Yeah.
A character that's written out a character to prop another character who's been character assassinated for I don't know what reason. I'm talking about Sister Act, the two nuns on the run.
Yeah.
The fact that you bring on Vivian. Wait a minute, let me just get this right. You bring on Vivian for what? You see what I'm saying?
The only thing they didn't do with Vivian was put her in the bar, Brady's, with a bunch of other legacy characters eating chicken wings and popcorn, talking about, you know, what did you bring her back for? What did you bring her back for?
I'm just going to say this. I've been saying this all day. If I could just take Ron, and, Ron, shout out to you for a lot of things, too, and take him and Frank Valentini and put them in a room, I would really slap them both and say, hey, you're doing General Hospital and you're doing Days of Our Lives. Stop with this One Life to Live stuff. You coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's gone. One Life to Live, no offense to One Life to Live fans, it still hurts to this day. It's gone. Stop repeating. Like what y'all did on One Life to Live, yes, ABC brought you over to kind of help with General Hospital. But once Ron, when you got let go, this was a clean slate for you. And now that we know that you had assistance by Ken Corday, and it kind of makes some sense, but still some of the story samples are still being told. And the thing is that now, see, Ken Corday was being a little shady and smart. Everything from the beginning of this year to the end of this year, it's on you. So hopefully you don't do the typical Ron staple. You don't do a two tales of somebody. We all know there is going to be something coming up that shouldn't have even had happened. I don't understand it. You do have the unexpected twists and turns like a Gabby or a Sierra. But back to our queen, who's going to tell us more about that too. So what happened with Sierra? I'm sorry, we got off way here. What happened to Sierra?
It's all good. It's all good input. Now, it sounds like you're really after Ron. But do they now, because you are all experts, do the fans notice this? Do they complain about it? Do they cross over? Like he's cross-pollinating, and do the fans realize that?
Yes.
They do?
The fans that have watched the three networks, you know, and dropped in and dropped out and so on and so forth consistently, yes, they have noticed. You know, those of us that, you know, like Candice and myself that have been watching, you know, with our life's blood, we definitely know.
Since you
pretty much. Especially, I think especially if you're an ABC fan, like when One Life to Live was sadly taken away from us. Thanks, Brian Franz. And, you know, they had said that Frank, Ron, Cassie, Roger, and them was like One Life to Live. Some of One Life to Live was going to merge with General Hospital. This was such a big deal. So you did have the One Life to Live viewers tune into General Hospital. This caused a little issue between General Hospital fans and One Life to Live fans because General Hospital fans was like, oh, no, we don't want these characters. General Hospital is our show. But then when they saw what Ron and Frank could do for General Hospital, which they brought them back from cancellation, technically, they brought back the Nurses Ball. But a staple that was from One Life to Live was the two Todd storyline.
Right.
And on General Hospital,
It was
Jake at first they weren't going to do
Jake Joe that turned into Jason Drew.
To Jason, and then here comes the real Jason. So it was like I was just waiting for the promo, the real Jason Morgan Seaburton returns as the real Jason Morgan. Like sort of like what they did on All My Children, Anthony. Remember the real Willy promo? The shade of it all. But that's so and there were certain staples that they did. Like he just said, Connie and Kate. Then when it was, when Ron was let go, everybody said his next soap should be Days of Our Lives because Ron knows how to write for family, and he's a perfect fit over there. So when Ron came over, you start seeing more family connections on the show. But then it's something that happens, I guess, within the second or third year, where he does the roll the dice, take a chance on the show, which was the time jump. Of course, he put together a young couple with the world against them, all against the odds. Then you have the Who's Your Daddy storyline. Then you have these weddings and. So there's certain staples, but yeah, all the fans do notice.
Well, you see, he was pressed on the issue, but he had to admit that the time jump storyline was a storyline that originated at One Life to Live, and they were afraid to take that move, so he had put it in his basket of stories. Then at General Hospital, he pitched it again, and it was turned down. Days of Our Lives, Ron admitted it on that other podcast that we were talking about a few minutes ago. He admitted it outright. This was a story that he's been working on for years. And 3 different shows.
Well, I've tried to follow him on Twitter. He doesn't appear to interact with fans, with anybody. He just does his thing. He doesn't seem to take what anybody says. Am I right?
He does behind the scenes. He definitely is watching and does take certain things. He doesn't interact visually because he was burned quite a few times when he first got to General Hospital and had interacted with fans and stuff.
And Days of Our Lives, he does certain things, but I think that's what he's also learned is that social media. Like that's why I said, the reality is that out of Days of Our Lives, Ron is the network. He is the connection between the fans and the show because King Corday is not on social media. Albert Carr is not on social media. Some of the writers of Days, Anthony, some of the writers are on Twitter, but they're not using Twitter like Ron is. Like Ron is on social media all the time. Insta, Twitter, he'll retweet, but in the last couple of months,
he gets his point across.
Yeah, he gets his point across.
And to answer your original question,
if you watch what he retweets, he gets his point across. He's clever.
And to answer your original question, Carolyn, a lot of fans. I would say at least in the 60-something percentile. If your big major show, let's say, was Another World, it was at the 2:00 hour in most of the country. So when you were on commercials, you popped over to ABC and you were watching One Life to Live, or you popped over to CBS, and at that point it was As the World Turns.
As the World Turns.
If you were at the 1:00 hour, it was always All My Children. Yes. Days of Our Lives, and Young and the Restless. So
the last 30 minutes of it,
Yeah, and there were points in time where there was something going on the shows that you were literally going. You had that jump feature where you go 2, 3, 2, 4, and 7, and you keep jumping to make sure you were getting the scenes that you wanted to see in each show. Right. And then DVR came along, and you was able to watch one, tape another one, and then they gave you the option to tape up the 4 shows at the same time, and you was in soap heaven. So
and then it was
soap fans either follow their one station, their one network, or they're following shows across the board. But whatever their major shows are, they're also popping into the ones that are against them because they want to know what their show is up against. They want to see some of the good stuff going on the other shows. It's very rare that you have somebody that only tunes into the Young and the Restless, or at least 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when there were multiple soaps on the show on the air. It was very rare that you had a soap fan that only tuned in to watch one show.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, another thing that I found enjoyable this week, and I got to give this to the fans because they're amazing. The debate that's going on right now for Days fans is, are you for Eli or for Lainey? Like, they're asking the question of who's in the wrong, which I'm loving this. Because I, for one, am on Eli's side because Lainey's the one that betrayed by trying to help out Kristen and being a good friend. I could get that. But she's also known that she's breaking the law like that. And Eli goes and gets her arrested. So my question for y'all is, are you for Eli or for Lainey? Who do you think was in the wrong?
It was a beautiful scene the other day with Kristen, and she spoke to Lanny, and the last that I saw, but I haven't seen it in a couple of days, she wanted to have a talk with Eli. So does anyone know what happened?
Well, I only saw Monday.
Eli got a little upset with Lainey, which was kind of funny. Remember that little clip where he's like, "Oh, you're gonna handle me?" Like he got all upset because that was a little funny. That's what's going on there because
that's guys against girls. That's just women. She's siding with her best friend, and then it's her husband. It's scary. The dynamics are interesting.
So I'm going to weigh in real quick because here's the thing. Yeah. I am so tired of storylines where it's good for the goose, but it's not good for the gander, and nobody in the damn town. And nobody in the damn town points it out. Just as much as I'm so waiting for the day, and it almost happened on General Hospital. We were so close to it. You know, I'm waiting for the day where we're at a funeral and someone jumps up in hysterics like, "Oh, come on now. They ain't really dead. You came back from the dead. You came back from the dead. You came back from the dead. This bitch will be back in a year." But I'm so tired of the goose and gander storyline where nobody points it out. And Eli can play saint right now. I'm not giving Lanny right, but I understand that bond and what came about because of it. And Eli is not a white knight that has never done nothing either. And it pisses me off that's yeah. Go ahead, Candice.
Because remember what Eli did to Gabby.
You know I'm about to go off with this story. You know I got to go off on this storyline. You know I got to. First and foremost.
I know you do, girl. Come on
Eli
now.
is the police. First and foremost, you're asking a law-abiding citizen. Like, Eli works for the police, right? And, well, Lonnie used to. But, and I'm not knocking the couple because I actually do like this couple, but I can call out when I see something wrong. For you to say to Eli, well, please don't say anything. First and foremost, no, we're not going to do this. And I still don't understand the friendship between those two women because they're total opposites. And I guess that's what they thought would be really interesting is that these two women who've been burned. But, again, this is Lonnie's fault because she could have opened her mouth before the time jump and all of this would have been resolved. Anyway. With Eli.
And Julie would never went through what Julie went through. But go ahead.
Right. You know, my thing is that, you know, when Eli, because Eli has said, he kind of stood up and said, you know, he was going to take care of the situation. But with Lonnie, what irks me is, and you're right, is that she said, well, Kristen's a mother, and I wouldn't want her to be taken away from her child. But it was fine for you to do that with Gabby.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, you can't.
Good point.
You can't defend that girl who really has done a lot, and sit up there and say, well, I understand her because, you know, I'm a soon-to-be mother, and I wouldn't like. First and foremost, yes, I'm glad that she's going to have twins. I'm glad that it's all going to work out. But at the same time, you can't be sitting on your high horse telling your husband, who could be jeopardizing his job to help you out, while helping your con friend, and you're gonna use that line of, well, you know, I feel as though she has learned her lesson, and she's trying to do good, and she's my friend, and I wouldn't want her to be separated from her child because that would be such a. Where was all this
But
again?
on the same point, he could have been honest and upfront, and not like let her kind of believe that he was going to go along with it. That's what
That's my biggest problem.
But I get the fact that right now, because we all kind of called it, is that when she came back, they would get together, get married, and there was a nice wedding, and the nice little twist. Now they are twins coming and stuff, and so she's twice blessed and everything. But you still needed some angst, so I guess this is the angst part. But again, but what they're doing to Kristen, I'm just like, what? First and foremost,
who is she?
Well, not even that, but I literally, the other day, I was watching YouTube. I went down a YouTube hole. I don't know if y'all do this sometimes. And I'm watching, like, old school days and everything, and I'm just reminiscing to myself because nobody was here. I was like, we're going to get on this. And I'm seeing this little baby on Kristen's lap, right?
No.
And I'm like, who's that baby boy? And when they said it was Brady sitting on her lap, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I was like, because it's just, I was like, wait a minute. That's not Brady. I was like, no, it's not. But when I saw, Don and them saying, look at Brady, he looks so cute in his little tuxedo, because they was at a wedding. They were at a fancy wedding. And I'm like, this little boy grew up there. I was like, only on the soap. I'm done only on the soap. I was like, I can't. And she was still being like, she was trying to be a nice citizen, but she was still pissed off. I forgot who. Yeah. I think she was gunning after Marlena at that. Well, no shocker there. But I don't know who she is right now. Like, I love the fact Stacey is back, but I don't know her right now. Like, to me, she is sort of like a tame version of, dare I say, Blair.
Oh. So, Candice and everybody, what do you all feel? What do y'all feel about what's going on with this thing with Allie getting ready to accuse Tripp of this?
I don't like that
title.
Storyline.
Do you?
The way they're going,
Are you ready for this storyline? Because I, for one.
No.
It's like I'm with the fans here.
Who's going to go first?
What is the obsession with this topic?
I like Tripp. No, don't like it. Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't believe Tripp did it. I don't believe
I'm going to be the one to say it. I don't know why they even have Allie. I'm sorry, but this character does nothing for me. Nothing for me.
It's not even
Allie
that.
Thank you. Yes, Allie is a little spoiled brat.
That's right.
No,
Allie does. They wanted to bring in another Claire-like character and do a slow burn, and unfortunately, somebody must have put a match up somebody's butt, and there was a methane explosion because they started out where it could have done the ticky 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 boom boom, and they went ticky boom.
Yeah.
And it just don't play. It doesn't play.
No. I agree.
Okay, I'm gonna be the one to say what I said last night to one of my friends, and for our listeners, please understand that this may have strong language. Okay, that's our disclaimer for the night. But what the freaking, I can't even do it because it's not 8 o'clock yet. We're still in daytime. F is okay. See, I thought if you guys remember last year on this podcast, I said there was two things that I did not want to happen in 2020. Anthony, back me up when I said this. I said I did not want to hear about
girl,
rape.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Rape. I didn't want to hear about a Who's Your Daddy storyline because I was so over it for the last couple of years. My problem with this is okay. I had a feeling they were going to do something with Allie to make her not likable, but you could defend her, okay? Mm-hmm. And the thing is that they was kind of, in my opinion, Allie, first and foremost, is the daughter of Sammy. Girl, right there, I will defend you. Like, right there, I'm sorry. Like, you got a good mom, but she, woo-woo. And I could see the history of them playing, on Sammy's You know, she was young. She had a baby. She was a wild child. With Al. I could see. I saw that.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing about Lucas. He's not winning Father of the Year anytime soon for me. Because of his children, because of the lack of involvement with his children. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But to me, when I heard about this, and I heard about this yesterday, I heard it at first because somebody called me up and said, Candice, did you hear about this? And I said, this is a rumor. This is a lie. This ain't going to happen. When I heard that it was confirmed, I literally threw my tea down. I didn't shatter the glass. And I said, what the hell, Ron? Because, like I said, Ron, you now have the keys to the castle. So why would you do this? Of all story ideas you could have came up with, you came up with a alleged rape. We knew that.
I'm so disappointed with that direction.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna throw the wrench right up in there because it's a smoke screen. Because baby daddy is really Austin.
What? You know what the sad part is? Connect the dots. And I'm going to tell you where to start connecting it. I don't know if it's still up because I know the Days app is up, but I know it might be on YouTube. Check out Chad and Abby in Paris.
Yep.
Start connecting the dots from that. But also at the same time, it could be another thing too.
Don't forget Evan is returning too.
Who is that?
Evan, the one that dated Sonny when Will was in jail. He's returning back.
They're bringing him back too.
The rumor of fans is they think that if Tripp's not the daddy, it must be Evan.
I missed that piece. All right.
Wait a minute, but hold up. No, because he's going to be factoring in something else. But no, we got the two. My thing is, regardless of the situation, you have it plagued out that a young woman was drunk and she had sex, unprotected sex that resulted into a baby. The problem with that is that this is Days of Our Lives MO, especially she was raped. Kayla, okay, we had Sierra.
Marlena and Sammy. And it's all sometimes been results of apprentices. My thing is this. It is 2020, okay? We should have came up with the situation is that, okay, they were at a party. She was acting all grown. Yeah, I'm Allie. Oh, what's your name? And she met a guy, and they had a one-night stand. It didn't have to result in a pregnancy, but since it did result in pregnancy, she's like, oh, my gosh, like, I don't know what to do. Like, you know, something like that. So she gives it up because she knows that she's not going to see this guy again. Oh, look who's here in Salem. What are you doing here? What's that in your stomach? I don't know. I think I ate burritos. Something like you could have came up with something original than a rape, because the problem that is right now in the world we live in today, this is an unacceptable story. This is, again, not one life to live. And this is, like, to me, I don't understand, in the world of daytime, except for one show, Forever and a Day, there's always got to be a rape. And they always have to have it where Tripp, who is a legacy character, he is Steve's son. So, okay, Ron, I'm gonna call you out on this, Ron. If this storyline happens, you better have newer viewers understand why Kayla might be a little shaken up about this.
Yeah,
you better have Matthew Ashford be a part of this storyline. Again, for new viewers who don't understand. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You can still have it, but it's going to be, I want to see if Ron does this. Because if he does, I will give you a little piece of, like, okay, Ron, I see you. If you don't have this storyline to unleash the history of Ava and Steve, reintroduce Ava and Steve's history to newer viewers, Kayla and Jack's past with newer viewers, because some viewers don't know. They don't know Kayla and Jack's history. So let me break it down to you.
Yeah.
Well, we did get a good dose of it when Jack came back, and I will give them credit for that. I really liked that they put those
But I don't think a lot of people, like, when I say, like, I still want it to be, because I feel as though some fans have said this, and I know a couple of people who said it. They feel as though, even though everybody's like kumbaya, is everybody really kumbaya behind closed doors? And this is where we can go at with this story. But again, this story should not even be happening. I don't know why.
Nope.
Rod, why did you do this? Like, okay, if you wanted to give us a story to make us, feel a certain way towards Allie, you could have played it off where she's been hurt or something, or by a bad relationship. Or you know what else you could have done? Instead of making her 23 years old, you should have had her as the 16-year-old and she was pregnant. Even though it was a full teenage pregnancy, but still, I mean, you would still be doing history because of Sammy. But at the same time, you made a Trip. So what are you going to do with Trip? Are you going to take him down? I mean, yes, he was wrong. You brought him as a bad boy and made him into a kind of a good. But now you are going to bring him on as a bad guy who raped somebody and is also the father of a child. So where are we going to go at with this? Are you going to go down the whole, okay, let's take him through the steps of being good again or being terrible? I don't know. I don't really know why the story is happening.
I know fans got upset when they were hearing about it, and I barely heard about it. But when I heard they were going, I wasn't that. I'm disappointed about it too. But one fan even hinted, they're like, well, why didn't they just go ahead and have Allie seduce or and have her get back at Sammy for being, this mom that she hates or something like that. Maybe they could have gone that route instead of making Trip this rapist that in town that nobody wants to see. That's kind of the because what I'm getting from fans. They don't want to hear about rape anymore.
Casey Moss is coming back, so there's going to be that interplay between the bad feelings from what already went down between him and Trip. This is his cousin. This is gone down, blah, 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 blah. But underneath it all, it's going to come out that it was not Trip. She's hiding something bigger. She's hiding something much bigger.
I don't trust Allie. I think, to me, it's just like since she hit town, she was in town and she was pregnant and she didn't know what to do with the baby. She was trying to get rid of the baby any way she could. That's why I was so mad when she came back and tried to be all high and mighty. And here's Sammy. At least Sammy's got custody of the grandchild. And she wants to go, oh, no, you can't raise him because that's my baby and I want Nicole to raise him instead. And I'm like, give me a break, Allie. You left that baby behind. You don't have no rights.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Anthony, you have, I guess, inside information. If that's the way it goes, we'll just see how it unfolds.
Well,
I've got a very surprising information for y'all for the days. On the days front, there's a little birdie that told me that when Gabby Hernandez returns, she's going to return with a mystery man.
Well, I heard a rumor, and this is just a rumor. I heard that the new male that's coming on campus, and it might be the one that comes in with Gabby, is actually something to do with Jordan and the whole mystery around what happened with Jordan, or maybe what never happened with Jordan.
Oh, interesting.
But that's rumor.
That's interesting. I mean, we need some good drama.
Yes.
We do, and the fact that, Chriselle is getting all the love that she's getting right now, when she comes off her Dancing with the Stars, I'd love to see her do her waltz or passe doble or, tango right back up into Salem. So that rumor happens to be...
Shout out to Chriselle. I love her show on Netflix.
I really like her, and I'm so upset that she got a divorce so soon. It's so sad.
Oh, sweetie, I felt bad for her, but I'm going to be honest. After what I've been reading about the way she was treated, forget that. I'm so glad that she's away from all that.
Yeah,
nobody, especially her, nobody deserves to be treated in a toxic relationship the way that she went through No way. I'm all.
And
glad
don't
that
forget,
she's
he did the
back
same
to
thing
her.
to Lindsay Hartley before her. He did the same thing to Lindsay Hartley before her. So, you know,
really?
this is
I know
the
what
pattern
you
of
mean.
behavior.
I've lost all respect. When
Yeah.
an actor treats any woman like that, I don't care if you are a celebrity in daytime or anything. You don't treat women like that. That's not how you treat women.
No.
Well, we passed the
No,
blade
I
and we
was
tangoed.
yeah,
Now it's
shocked.
time for us to cha-cha-cha right over to Genoa City. And Candice, girl, this is your show, so you are always going to be the first one to let us know what's going on in Genoa City.
Previously
Candice,
on Young and the Ross.
Candice, before you start,
Okay.
I have to go.
We love you, Queen.
I love you guys too. I missed you, Anthony. But you were having
I missed you too, girl.
traveling. Yeah. Okay. Well,
All right.
I appreciate it. Next time I'll be a better girl and I'll stay longer.
All right. Okay.
Well,
so previously on the Young and the Restless is something that Anthony and me talked about a year ago. And previously on the Young and the Restless, it's a story that we actually talked about a year ago. And also previously on the Young and the Restless, I don't know this show anymore. And that's the sad reality is that so first things first, the big shocker of the year. Call your friends, call your neighbors, call your teacher, call the post office worker. Amanda St. Clair is Hillary Curtis's twin. Oh my God!
Oh,
I just passed out.
oh my God! It can't be. No, never.
Yes,
Nobody would
the
have ever
DNA
predicted that.
test turned out 110%. That girl is her twin. Our twins. Sister. Okay, we don't got the right to the song. Go play.
Candice, I am cracking up over Elena having a meltdown over this whole Amanda situation. I can't get enough of it.
Can I just say this is just okay? All right, I'm just gonna say it.
Eat
Here's
your heart
the
out,
sad
General Hospital, by the way, because I am loving Elena, by the way. But go ahead.
I'm loving Brit too. I'm loving her because she got more material on the show. I love the fact that they're finally, let me just say this right now, they're finally giving Devon and Elena something more to do.
Yep.
At the same time, this story should have happened a year ago or not at all. And here's where my problem comes in at. Just like with Ron, by the way, Ron, hi. I'm going to say this to Josh Griffin. Dude, how can you retcon your own character that you created history by doing that? And let me explain because a lot of people got mad at me for saying this. First and foremost, the twin storyline, just like the rape storyline, should not even happen. Okay.
Candice, you know, with this storyline though, even though we know Amanda is Amanda right now, you know there's going to be a twist in the storyline that is coming up, and you know, a few of them that's going on right now. We got two. One is, if you've been paying attention, look how Nate is talking with Elena, Devon, and Amanda. It seems like he's kind of playing them against each other if you watch close. Then the other clue that's coming up is Jared is returning. I don't know how he fits into the story, but he's a part of this mystery.
Okay, let me just say this. Anthony, you know what I'm about to say.
Because Jared is going to have known that there was a twin from something that happened with him and Hillary back when they were scheming together way back when. Why they're going to bother with this, I don't know, but you know that's the beat they're going to play. Go ahead, Candice. What was you going to say?
But what's getting me is this. Okay, and I said this on social media, and I felt as though this needs to be said now. You messed up your own story for Amanda. Point blank. You did not have a really good story outlined for Amanda. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm calling you out on this. First and foremost, let's look at the evidence presented. Okay, screenshot number one. You brought Amanda St. Clair onto the show after Colin talked about Devon's money. Right there, that's your story. Conning for cash. Okay. Two.
Yep. let me just put you right there, because at that point they should have had Jack figure out what was going on, but because of the way he felt about Hillary and his mixed feelings about this Amanda character, he should have been roped into it, because they never played that beat, Jack and Hillary, the way they should have also. But go ahead, continue, Candice.
Okay. The next thing is that, okay, you had everybody saying, oh, my God, you look like Hillary, you look like Hillary. Where was Mariah? If anybody knows Hillary, it would be Mariah. And this is what leads to the
That's
next
a good
thing.
point, girl. That's a good point.
Here's the thing. Okay, we all knew. This is what, okay. This is what I'm talking about, where I feel as though if you've been a fan of soap operas for so long, you see the story before the story is actually played out. We all knew that they were going to make this girl a twin. There was no ifs, ands, buts about it. The thing is that
not to mention that there should have been a hip hop moment when Lily came back through town. Like what? Yup.
And
I mean, come on,
like
we keep hanging.
But not only that, but here's another thing. Okay, as some of you guys who have been watching Young and the Restless since Hillary has been on the show knows that Hillary Curtis is not her true name. No, it's not. It's Ann Turner.
Yup.
Last year, or earlier this year, they brought Amanda's ex-husband, who strangely enough had the same last name as her now dead sister. Confused much? Tune in next week when we say you really just like, it could have been something where you had Ripley Turner tell Amanda, like, look, you know, our mother, da-da-da. You could have made this story, or you could have done the OG storyline, which I thought was brilliant. Have Colin hire a lookalike that looks like Hillary to get underneath Devon's skin. And have
but
Devon,
girlfriend, you know where this is going.
I know where it's going.
We're going to find out in about 6 months that she was born a man.
Candice, don't forget the confusion going on with Nate.
We're going to find out she was born a man.
Don't forget the confusion going on with Nate. Also, he's also remembering his own past. As you recall, he's been hinting about his ex-fiancée. I guess her name's Caroline or something. So my theory is, what if Nate's playing all these characters against each other to get revenge for what happened to his fiancée? Do you think that Hillary did something to his fiancée, or maybe knows something?
No, because we didn't see it on
Nate?
screen.
Maybe he's a killer.
I'm gonna give you another. Okay. Let me just say this right now. Another reason I'm not liking the story is because this is finally giving Nate, Elena, Devon, and Amanda a story, which means that and you know, this is the thing, and this is not anything but it's like, okay, now everybody's back on the same island again. But Amanda still has a little boat called Billy that sails through now and then. My problem is that, okay, I can tell you right now where this story is going to probably lead to. And it's one of the stories that I said I did not want to see this year, a Who's Your Daddy storyline with Elena, because of Amanda. Because Elena already is starting to feel some type of way about Devon and Amanda. Nate is feeling a certain type of way. Elena, they have been playing, if you've been watching the show carefully, they have been playing a slow build between Elena and Nate. They both work together at the medical center. They both, are, talking about their past and how it's changed and stuff like that. Daddy. At the same time,
and
you
they have
Elena,
a chemistry.
who is
Nate and Elena have a chemistry too. You can't forget that.
I'm not forgetting that, but I'm saying on the show right now, the way that it's played out is you already know that now with the return of Amanda, and because Amanda, it's going to reawaken some feelings, and it's also going to waken Elena's insecurities. The thing and the problem is that, again, this could have been straight up a con story. Now, I know what Young and the Restless fans who are listening to the show is saying, Candice, hold up, girlfriend. As much as we are enjoying what you're saying, you do realize about another factor that happened a couple of years ago. And you're right. It did happen with Mariah, because Mariah was hired by Victor to con Sharon to thinking that Cassie was alive and got paid for it. I see what you're saying. I see what y'all are saying. But at the same time, I'm looking at the fact that you could have had Colin who took the money. Remember, he took Devon's money
Mm-hmm.
and hired somebody to look like Hillary, knowing Devon would do anything. And then what would happen is, like somebody said, imagine if Amanda played Devon and all these feelings came out, and then one thing led to another, and they fall in love, and Devon and her get married, and something happens where she gets the money, and she's secretly still working for Colin.
But, sweetie, that might have been in the offing,
well,
and
Candice,
then everything went the way it went with Daniel Goddard. And so they had to scrap that storyline.
But wait a minute. But see, you can still play it without Kane. That's the thing.
You
because,
can.
Again,
yeah.
You can. But the thing is, and I see what you're saying, Anthony, but I feel as though, okay, no offense, by Kane, we'll see you like in 2022. But for right now, we have to remember who brought who on first. This was Colin. The fact that you, like, there were so many, like I said, the biggest hiccup is Amanda married somebody with the surreal last name of her dead sister, Turner. That was the game changer right there. Because when that leaked out to everybody that his last name was Turner, and again, if you remember her name, and this is and the reason I'm calling, and like I said, I'm calling Josh out is because he created the character of Hillary. He created the character. So to me, it's like you could have went so many ways with this. And like I said, I'm already seeing where this is going to lead to. Now, Josh, if you would like to pull a Ron Carlbody and shock the living mess out of us, go ahead. I welcome it. I want to see it because right now, Young and the Restless and anybody who knows me, this show is such a far cry of what is ratings are good, but
what about the two things right there? With one being that with Nate, do you think that he's actually going to be like comforting for Elena, or do you think that something's going to happen between Nate and Elena? That's number one. Then the second thing is, what about when Amanda's panicking and she's trying to find out about her sister? There's other people that also could help her. There's Phyllis. There's Lily. I mean, Lily did kill
here's the
Hillary.
Problem, though,
It was an accident, but she could be confronting Lily about this. I think they're kind of missing out on some key issues there. What do you think?
They're going to play those issues, like having Lily when Lily finds out and stuff like that. They're going to play those beats, obviously. But the main beat is that right now this is a test for Devon. Now all of a sudden, this woman who, wait a minute, let me just clear this up too. We just celebrated Michelle Morgan's 1-year anniversary back at Young and the Restless. That tells you how long this story has been playing out. Not even playing out, but the fact that this character was around, okay? Not one time has anybody fully delved into the fact that she looks like Hillary. Yeah, it was said, Devon looked at her like, you look like somebody I used to know. The stuff that's happening now should have happened last year.
And Mariah had a reaction to it too, so did Phyllis.
Well, that's what. But what I'm saying is that this storyline of Amanda being a twin, or like to me, okay, even if all right, I'm gonna throw you another storyline, okay? Anthony, get ready for the original right here. Okay, I'm going to bring up some characters from the past. Remember the doctor that was obsessed with Hillary that played by Michael E. Knight? Do you remember that character?
Oh, yeah, I remember when she was in a coma.
Okay, work with me on this, okay? All right, here we go. Candice's creativity coming out of play. We could have said that in Texas somewhere or in Vegas, since everything happens in Vegas, there was a lawyer who got into a really bad accident. Disfigured face, everything, okay? The doctor who was working with her, on her, whatnot, learned about Hillary's death via the internet. He was still clearly obsessed with her, like had some kind of a picture or whatnot. So with this woman and everything, unrecognizable, she has to have plastic surgery. Knowing this doctor's obsession, he decides to make her look just like Hillary, okay? As a sort of work of art to be immortalized, that the fact that his obsession, and yeah, it sounds creepy and like Lifetime movie, but guess what? This was his hope, okay? And something, God forbid, happens to him. He dead. So this woman who looks like somebody else in the world has been living her life. And then all of a sudden, Colin sees her on Institute, I'm just making that name up, and sorts her out because of the whole Devon stuff. And she doesn't understand why. So she goes online herself and looks up and says, oh, my God, this is why everybody says I look like her. Oh, my God, the doctor. Oh, my God, I am so sorry. Something like that. You didn't have to do a twin storyline.
No, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. I got thrown off.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Candice. Yeah. There were so many ways to go with this.
Plot holes. You're right, Candice. Yes.
That storyline actually would have been really good.
I got to point something out about what we're actually seeing now. We're seeing the beginning of Tiki Tiki Boom Boom again. Generous City. Whether it be Nate, and my feeling is it's going to end up being Nate, but we're going to get the red herring with Elena. They're setting up these two characters to start spiraling out of control, and one of them is going to Tiki Tiki Boom Boom completely. And my feeling
Candice,
is it's going to end up being Nate.
If Nate doesn't turn out to be the guilty party that we think he could be involved in this storyline, what about Kane? Do you think Kane could be working with Amanda secretly?
That boat sailed through the sea.
Yeah.
And crashed and burned. Here's my problem.
Now, what would be interesting is if it was Jill.
Okay. If they could make Jill go back to her scheming ways, I would be all for it. But the fact is, was she schemed Devon?
I think
but don't forget, Kane has a reason. Kane has a reason to hate Devon. He's remember Devon pretty much exposed him for trying to be like working with Colin, and Kane got upset right before he left. Like I said, if you think about it, this would be a perfect revenge plan for Kane to hurt Devon.
Yeah. It could be, but they wouldn't play that.
So we've done.
It goes back to my original question. Do you think this story? Do you think that it's going to involve Nate playing these characters against each other? Do you think it has something to do with this past ex-fiance that nobody remembers?
No.
I wish that the Young and the Restless was that creative at the moment. I really do, quite honestly. But no, I don't think it's going to go.
No.
I think they're setting up one of those basic storylines where we're going to have Tiki Tiki Boom Boom, and for a little while we're not going to know if it's Elena or Nate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's, unfortunately, this is a recycling of what.
So then you don't agree that fans, you don't agree with fans that they think that Amanda is actually Hillary, she just doesn't know that she is?
I think that if they do that, they've gone down so far that it's going to be almost impossible for them to come back. If that's where this is really leading, then there were so many beats that it should have been played already that, it's the same thing like, the hookers with the Heart of Gold a couple of years ago. Candice, you know what I'm talking about? And then again with the JC storyline, that there were so many opportunities where it should have come out. It should have been, and soap operas are the classic, you'll literally stand up behind the closed door while they're speaking, but you don't hear a damn thing. But there's only so much in the year of 20 about to be 21 that you can get away with in that realm of things. The suspension of disbelief is just, come on now. If that's the case and that's where they go with the storyline, forget about it. There will be hardly any coming back.
I got two tidbits for you. One is make sure to set your DVRs for tomorrow because on Young and the Restless, it's going to be fun. Lily gets to Lily holds her own against Nikki Newman. That's going to be exciting. And then the other tidbit that I've been hearing is another little birdie told me is that Y&R is bringing another mystery woman, not Courtney Hope. She's already on the cast, but there's another woman coming in that's going to be changing lives in Genoa City. So the rumor of that is, who is she? Is she going to be Jack's new lover? Or that's what I was thinking. Maybe it could be Kane's ex-fiance. Maybe she turns out alive. You never know where they're going to go with that. What do you think, Candice?
I'd rather it be Eva LaRue, but go on.
Right.
Right.
No, it's a new. It's going to be a new woman. I would love Eva LaRue back, but this is going to be a new mystery woman that pops up.
Here's
Christian Alfonso?
I keep hearing about her. That's what I'm saying. I heard rumors, but I haven't heard confirmation. But
here's the thing. Right now with Young and the Restless, having first and foremost, Judy Chapman is coming back as Gloria. Hallelujah.
Welcome back,
right
Judith.
Now, Young and the Restless needs to. They need to, and strangely enough, it's funny too, Anthony, because I was listening to I went on social media to, you know how they have your anniversaries and stuff, like on this date you did this and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And on this day, I said this about Young and the Restless. I said, Young and the Restless, we need to talk because you're not doing it for me right now. And I feel as though 3 years later, Young and the Restless, you're not doing it for me right now. And I'm glad that you have some story consultants that knows the show's history. Thank you, God. And I just feel as though right now with Young and the Restless, they need to take, like Josh and company needs to sit down and needs to go over a 6-month story arc and an outline and a breakdown. And the thing
they overlap too many stories together. That's the problem.
It's not that. It's not that. Well, what the problem is that you have 2 stories on the show right now that should have been taken care of a year ago. One storyline could have easily been a part of a off-screen storyline that I was more interested in than the show, and I'm talking about Adam. When they said about Adam and Chance in Vegas, first and foremost, and I said this on the show, 2 people complete opposites. Holy crap. I said Chance Chancellor and Adam Newman in Vegas. How did Adam get to Vegas after being blown up? Why was Chance kicked out of the military? And I kept saying to myself, they formed a friendship. Because remember, Chance was in jail, I think. And I was like, somebody got murdered. I said, somebody got murdered. I said, it has to be because they were 2 buddy, like on secretive, level. Okay.
Honestly, wait,
remember, Candice, Adam saved Chance's life because Chance killed somebody. That's according to what Adam told Victor.
I know.
And don't forget that Adam has his bisexual past. So because of all of the drama that they went through off screen, what actually happened between the 2 of them that bonded them,
I always thought they were together.
Exactly. That was the beat that could have been played and would have rocked the
and they
F
could have
out
played
of Genoa City.
And my thing is besides that, let's keep in mind that Adam Newman, we do know this character's history, and I don't care what anybody says. Yes, he was off screen with Hope. But we know what, my biggest problem right now is that you're forcing Adam down my throat too much in the sense of everything has to be Adam. This is why I was one of the fans who did not want Adam Newman to come back because I knew something like this was going to happen. I feel as though
I agree with you. They shouldn't have to make it into the Adam show. I love Adam, I do. But I agree with you. They don't need to turn it to the Adam show. There's other characters they can also focus on as well.
And not to mention, they chemistry tested him with every woman on the screen at this point. I had my personal pick. They should have let something develop with him and Phyllis. That's my personal pick. But at this
point, my personal pick, yep.
At this point, you chemistry tested him with everyone, and you got nothing to show for it. How long has he been back?
I know, right? Adam had chemistry with Amanda.
You've got nothing to show for it.
But this is my biggest thing. you brought Adam back. Okay, so this week, so real quick, so Adam has been seeing Sharon, who's his therapist, which is, I think this is crazy, but okay. And, you know, everybody is saying to Sharon, don't let Adam near you. Noah, by the way, welcome back, Noah. I need for Robert to get a contract. Yes, I do. Okay.
Yes.
The thing is that Noah even told Adam, "You're not welcome here. My mom has cancer." Da 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 da. So what does Sharon do? She says, "I'm going to go and help Adam find out what's going on with him because he can't sleep." Even Chelsea is over there. She's feeling a certain type of way. She's like, "I'm your ride or die, Adam. Like, let's get married, and we can take Victor down." Okay, here's my problem, Josh. A week prior to this conversation, Victor and Adam was watching Victoria derail Newman, okay, they were kind of on the same path. So where did we go wrong in a week that now Adam all of a sudden has all of this hate towards Victor? And my other question, too, is that, okay, we find out that Alyssa, she's like, she's releasing an article, the making of a murderer, okay? And Billy and Victoria, they like, yeah, okay, like, okay, you going to help me take down Adam? Okay, yeah. In the meantime of this whole thing, okay, me as a fan, I'm like, y'all really could not have done the story wrong in so many ways. Will, to answer your question about Adam, about the writing and stuff like that, here's the problem. This could have been a part of the Las Vegas storyline with Chance and Adam. You did not have to make Adam 11 years old and killing somebody. So far, Adam has killed a total of 3 people. I think we're on 4. That's right.
4. Yep.
Here's my theory on that. I think that Courtney Hope is going to play the widow that everybody's looking for from Vegas. This is just me. Okay. I have a feeling she's going to pop in because you notice they keep talking about the widow a lot. They don't do that unless there's a reason.
They talked about that widow since last year, and that's why I said something happened in Vegas. This is one of those times where I'm like, okay, Josh, like Anthony says, even though we don't own the show, well, I own one show, but, with Young and Restless, is at that point right now, and it happens every couple of years, where they have the story. They have the story. They have the actors. The stories aren't connecting. They're not connecting. And that's why fans aren't, like the Lola thing, real quick. Okay.
Oh, girl, please.
Lola came back
don't get
from
me
Miami.
started on Lola.
Lola feeling a certain type of way. She kind of lashed out at Theo because Theo missed Theo didn't know that there was going to be a dinner planned. And Lola was waiting patiently. Billy had talked to Theo about something work-related. Theo didn't, communicate with Lola. So Lola, the next day, was kind of pissed off, saying, "You didn't call, da-da-da-da-da." And Theo was like, "Well, Dad, like, I'm sorry." And she's like, going back and forth. She feels a certain type of way. Anybody who knows somebody, because I'm like that, is that if you don't call to verify that you're not coming or whatnot, I'm going to feel a certain type of way because it's like, all right, if you could just say, like, okay, Anthony, let's say me and you are going to hang out, go to the movies, okay? By the way, one day we're going to go to the movies. We're going to do something, okay? I'm pretty sure one day I'll be back up. Yeah. And then you're, like, waiting in front of Junior's Cheesecake. Right now. You can tell I'm hungry. Right by the Marriott Marquis in New York, okay? Say what's up. And it's 5:30.
Me hungry,
I thought I would be.
And I just wolfed down my piece of cheesecake that I was eating without you so that I could have a second one and not look like a pap pig.
Right.
And then you don't.
Oh my God! What flavor? What flavor cheesecake did you have?
And did not savor every bite of it. Girl, yes.
Right. So
what flavor are you eating? What kind of cheesecake is that?
Caramel marble.
Oh
no, caramel marble graham cracker crust cheesecake. Oh, girl, it is the best you could ever have. Yes.
You know
Okay,
what?
Anyway.
here's my
You know
thing
what,
though.
Anthony? Anyway.
Lola seems to fizzle with Theo. So I'm it's just me. I'm picking up more chemistry between her and Mariah than I am with her and Theo.
Okay, let me just say this real quick. You know how earlier on Days of Our Lives I said about character destruction, character assassination?
Uh-huh.
You're looking at it with
Yes.
Lola.
The next thing they're going to do is have her sleep with Billy.
Well, not even. The thing is that Lola has been a character.
Do you think they should write Lola out, or what do you think is wrong with the character of Lola? Do you just feel they just don't know what to do with her?
They never knew what to do with her. And when they were on track where they could do something with her, they blew it out the water each time.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna do this. With the character of Lola, there was an opportunity, and they kind of did it. It was a slow build, but they kind of did it, and then they dropped it. And I can tell you exactly when that moment.
The pocketbook and the have and the have not.
Well, even before that, here's what happened. First and
She could have dated Finmore. Lola could have dated Finmore, and that would have been a fun storyline with Lauren and Michael.
Well, here's the thing that I think people was missing. First and foremost, when you introduce the character of Lola, she was not like a Summer Newman, a Lily Winters, a Abby Newman, a Victoria Newman. She was doing something on her own, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of she created her own business. She was her own boss, and
she was a
really,
Latina, and everybody was getting all spiced up about it. That was fun.
Well, no. You're missing the point. The point is that she wasn't daddy's little rich girl. She wasn't like, hi, I'm Summer Newman. Hi, I'm Victoria Newman. Hi, I'm Lily. She was actually buying her own clothes at Target or Walmart versus Fenmore or such and such, okay? And the thing
and
is
she didn't have a score to
was,
settle either.
Right, and not only that, but she wasn't really invested in boys. Like, in the sense of she didn't think relationships should be a factor in her world. And if you remember, Kyle was kind of like assaulted because instead of, all the girls that he was used to being like, oh, my God, it's Kyle Abbott. Oh, my God, let me drop my underwear. Oh, my God, it's him. Lola was like, okay, you're an Abbott. Your point? So if you remember, that's how it started. Once the writing transition happened is when the pocketbook situation happened. That's when they changed the writers. That pocketbook was a representation.
Oh, yeah, like when Lola got mad at Kyle for the purse that he got her?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to defend this. As a single woman who makes her own money, who doesn't really depend on anybody, I like to be treated to nice things. I'll treat myself to nice things, okay, like a trip to New York. But when somebody, like if I say to you guys, I want a $5,000 car, or a $50,000 car, Chevy Malibu V6 engine with double steering wheels, right? And you guys
and it pops
get
up
me
with a
that.
big red bow in the driveway. Mm-hmm.
Right. If you guys get that for me, I'm going to feel as though you're trying to buy my affection.
And you took my power away from me because that car would have meant 1,000 times more when I signed on that line.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, if I like.
Yeah, but
I
Lola took it to a whole new level, and she literally made him feel bad just for buying a purse. That's kind of creepy.
But should have. Because here's the thing. Well, Kyle doesn't. See, this is where the story, and this is why I kind of like the Lola Kyle. And real quick, I like both couples. Thank you. Kyle doesn't understand the struggle of working up to getting money because he's an.
That's why I
addict.
like Kyle because he's a young Jack. He's a young Jack Abbott.
But think about this though. In all honesty, he's rich. He's a rich boy. He's a little poor rich boy who goes, wah, and I get everything I want. He hangs out with Summer Newman, equally a rich girl. She's a debutante, okay? The thing is that this story could have been set up where it would have been Kyle, Summer having a bet about Lola, okay?
Yeah.
And Kyle falling for Lola like he was. He was doing all the right things to get Lola to kind of fall for him. And then, wham, it would have been one of those, oh, the poor girl, but really Cal has real feelings for her. They were playing
and they should have let Summer at that point become Phyllis 2.0 and go, wait a minute, he's supposed to be mine.
So what do you think about this whole thing with Nick having a meltdown over Kyle being engaged to Summer? It's like, hello, Nick, you can't judge. What about you? You cheated on your wife, and you were just as bad as
Willy.
That's what they're doing. They're homaging the history. They're talking about the history because, see, Summer is okay. That's why Summer wasn't so hell-bent about her parents getting back together. If you remember, her and Faith are the only two real kids on the show who were like saying, my parents cannot get back together because I already know the troubles and everything. The fact is that Nick is speaking. Yeah, it's a train wreck. Summer and Kyle has gone down this road before. And with the family history, it was a little like tongue-in-cheek kind of moment where Phyllis was like, oh, my God, you're pregnant. Oh, my God, that's why you're getting married. The same thing happened to Phyllis. When Nick said what he said, that was a march to Nick's history. It's like, you know what, you hurt my girl, I'm going to get you. Like, it's so, that I would say was one of the funniest moments. It's like, yeah, Phyllis, Nick, your daughter's going down the same road that you guys was on. Like,
that's funny. I love Phyllis's reaction. I love Phyllis's reaction. Michelle Stafford did a really great job on that scene.
Yeah.
All right, as much as we could talk about this for the next half hour,
we got to go to General Hospital.
Let's go to General because there's a lot going on over there. Okay. Girl.
Go ahead, Anthony.
All right, Candice, do you really think that Nell is really dead?
Oh, I really don't care anymore.
Come on.
I really don't care anymore.
Come on.
I really don't care anymore.
Do you even care that she's actually going to turn out to be Nina's daughter, according to Jax?
I don't care. That's the story. When I tell you I do not care about Nina's daughter anymore, I tapped out 2 years ago. I tapped out when. Yeah.
I basically feel the same way. I'm with you. I don't care
I'm
anymore,
over it.
Honestly.
Shout out to Emma Sam. Welcome back. It's Holly. We missed you.
I know. Okay. So first and foremost, there is so much. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. I got to drop the mic. Okay. Thank you, General Hospital, a.k.a. Chris and company, for giving us what we have looked for, a little bit of Robert and Olivia, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a severe letdown the way they brought Ethan back, but the little cliffhanger.
Okay, what happened with that? I'm a little behind. How did they bring Ethan back? I'm a little behind on that.
Okay, so Olivia and Robert were doing the whole, we're pretending to be the married couple, and we're going to live it up high. Meanwhile, I'm going to do the sniff, 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 and the bark, bark. They gave her some nods. She's got some good roles to play right now. They even had Ned, poor little Ned, calling, oh, baby, why ain't you answering me, blah, 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 boo, woo, woo. Then they hooked him up with Alexis. Okay, please do that. Oh, God, please put those two back together. But I digress. And then all of a sudden, across the crowded, casino floor, there go Ethan. He's investigating Holly's murder. Boom, punches Robert Scorpio. Ooh, who got the jump up on Robert Scorpio? Is you kidding me? But okay. And then, bam, they're getting interrogated, and bam, Holly come walking in the room. Yeah!
Can I just say...
No, wait.
So Anthony, does Ethan think that Robert and Olivia are a couple, or does he just see the ruse?
No. He knows. Yeah, no, he knows what's going on. What none of them know is that
I love Ethan. Ethan is awesome. I love Ethan. He's so cute.
Candice, do you agree or do you not agree that behind it all is going to end up being one Alex Demira? Not Demira. Merrick. I'm confusing shows now. That behind it all is going to end up being one Alex now?
I'm praying. First and foremost, General Hospital, I must give you some credit. I must give you some props. Because usually Dave will do it, Bold will do it, sometimes Younger Wrestlers, but GH, I'll give you some props. You are correcting some of your mistakes you made this year with your casting.
Thank you, girl. Yep.
You knew that everybody was pissed off about Taggart, so thank you for bringing back Riel Andrews. Okay, hopefully we have him on the show again. You know, people, especially me, I went off on this show about how they killed Holly, and I said, I don't care if it was off screen. You just killed her legacy character, and I ain't having that right now. I said, we need some answers about Issa's paternity to correct us. Okay, I will be gladly to play a guest role on the show. I love the fact
when
that
I knew about Holly returning, I was excited, and I was glad to announce it to everybody. But they're like, well, how's that going to happen? Because, you know, with what's going on with COVID-19. And so when that happened, I had a feeling that General Hospital was going to kind of like layer it back a little on the storyline just a little bit, because it made sense, because with Holly being, you know, the actress of Holly being sick, they had to work around that scenario. So kudos to General Hospital. You're doing a good job.
Well, here's
doing
the thing.
that.
This is where we should credit social media and technology, because I believe that Emma recorded that at her home, obviously, because she is recovering from corona.
Yes, indeed.
And it makes perfect sense. And yeah, I do feel as though that person is behind closed door number one, Anthony. And if that's the case, then can I please, and no disrespect to the actor, but can the last couple
real quick,
of months
shout out to Finola and Ian for giving them the idea of recording from home from the first place. Just had to say that out loud. Go ahead, continue, Candice.
True that. Enter exit on Fiona's IGTV account. Check it out. Great episode. Season 2, please. Okay. Here's the thing.
Shout out to GH. I love the chemistry with Brando and what's her name?
We're gonna get there.
Maxie.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
With
Go ahead,
Ethan, first and foremost, I loved also the fact, GH, you actually remembered something that worked for your show. That's a trademark of your show. Adventure. You had adventure on the show, and you had, first and foremost, I got it.
You
I
actually went further than Beach's Corner. They went further than Beach's Corner. They went across an ocean. They went across an ocean.
The fact is that in General Hospital, you've actually been playing on some good soap beats, but I love the whole Olivia Robert. Obviously, if you know Lisa's had a crush on Trisha Rogers for a long time. So this is her.
Thank
you can
you,
tell
Lisa.
she was giddy. She was so giddy about this
dream come true.
This is her dream. But can I tell you something else? As a long lifetime fan of the show The City and Loving, you know I did not look at her as Olivia. No.
I know, girl. I know.
I looked at her when she had that gun. I said, Jocelyn! I said, where's Rudolph? Where's Randolph and them at? Where's the city at? Where's the loving at? Where's Corner, Pennsylvania at? I just love seeing Olivia outside of her element a little bit. And, yeah, you know, I just love this adventure. I love seeing, like you said, seeing Nathan as Ethan looking all suave, and seeing Tristan. And I was like, if y'all don't say they're father and son, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, I just think
really
Ned's
going to get with Alexis during this situation?
Who?
Ned. Do you think Ned will bond with Alexis while Olivia's dealing with Robert and over there with Holly?
If they don't play that beat, I am going to flip the F out, because we have been waiting for this for years.
But we got to make sure that Ned signs power of attorney and have insurance updated just in case he goes into bed too.
Yeah. He could go off a parapet. He could go off a balcony. Yeah, men don't last long around Alexis, and then, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
that's true.
Neil.
I mean, sisters don't either, but, you know, that's a whole other story.
That's true.
Okay.
You know, that's a whole other story.
Okay, I've got a fun question for y'all. How do you feel about this situation going on with Dev, that he likes Jocelyn, but then there's also this possibility that he could be liking Cameron? Do you want them to go there, or did you just rather him to stay with liking Jocelyn?
I got so excited when they were playing the beat for the asexual thing, and then they dropped it like a hot potato that burst open on the floor, and the dogs ran in to eat it. I don't want that to be the triangle. No. Sorry. As much as, you know, now I'm a homosexual proud. I'm a happy hoe. I'm a big old happy hoe who happened to have found his man.
You know I am. Proud
That's
gay.
the point.
Proud gay, but
okay.
I don't want to see Dev going after Cameron. To me, it just, I don't know, it just feels weird. it comes off like he's being a stalker. In that case, just let him go after Jocelyn and just leave it at that.
Okay. As the resident General Hospital, like me and General Hospital, we're sort of still in our like relationship walls. Like I still got my divorce papers just in case. Here's my thing. All right. I'm glad you're finally playing that Dev has a thing for Jocelyn. Okay, should have did this last year. We'll let it slide because the actor had other things to do. Here's where, with Dev having a thing for Cameron irks me a little bit, and this is nothing personal, but this is I'm just being completely honest about General Hospital. When it comes down to General Hospital with same-sex relationships or anything, they don't fully show the character or play the storyline. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Where's Christina and Parker and Valerie? Where's Lucas and Brad and Felix? Where's Elizabeth's friend?
Carrie.
Oh,
Where's
the doctor.
Carrie at?
The doctor.
Where is? Do you see a pattern that I'm doing here? And my thing is, and wait a minute, hold up, David. I'm doing this. I'm sorry, I'm saying this because I know where you at. They kind of was playing. They were kind of sort of playing a little beat of Michael and
Chad. Yep. Chase. That's what I meant. Michael and Chase.
Yeah.
Yep.
The problem is,
oh my God, I love that.
Right.
I love that. Give it straight.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that for some reason, I mean, if they were to have Dev actually have a thing for both, be bisexual, it would be like really interesting, but they already have a bisexual character on the show named Christina. And they did have three guys on the show that I thought was going to have a threesome. Thanks, Frank, for making me think. Thanks for making me think that.
Is Christina on vacation? Why haven't we seen too many scenes with her? Are they bringing up scenes coming up, or is that just cut scenes for COVID-19 situation?
Okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just ripping off the Band-Aids. I'm going to say it. I'm sorry. This is nothing against Lexi. This is towards the writers of GH. They never used Christina in a Corinthos story arc. They've always used her for the Davidson girls situation. With the Alzheimer's storyline. And I'm just going to jump on that right now because we're running out of time and I do want to get to both. With the Alzheimer's storyline, which was well played, GH, well played. Max, Maurice, Laura, all y'all deserve y'all moment. And you guys did use the history of Mike and Sonny. And
does Eden.
And here's the thing. I think I said this 2 weeks ago when we was doing our show. I said I hope they would, it would be nice if they brought Courtney back. I didn't think they were going to do it, but when I saw Alicia Lee as Courtney, I started crying. I was like, because, and again, for newer viewers.
That was a very moving performance.
Well, it's not only that, but it was the symbol of the history and of the character of Mike. It's the fact that
don't forget.
Full circle.
Lila
it went
and
full
Edward
circle.
Quartermain.
That was a great.
They have done this before.
Well, I'm gonna get to that because that was kind of something that was said on social media, and I want to address that. But let me just say this about the story because a lot of newer viewers, and when I say newer viewers, I mean the last decade, does not understand Mike and Sonny's relationship because everybody feels as though Sonny was like the bad person in this, in the beginning. I love first and foremost that there was a nod to Ron Hale, who originated the role of Mike during the story. The fact is that if you guys remember when Mike and Sonny first met, it wasn't all rainbows and lollipops. Mike tore Sonny's world apart, saying, you like to pin women against each other. You think everything. Go on YouTube. That scene was so legit. Ron Hale should have got an award for that. But knowing that, Sonny and Mike did not have the greatest relationship. And then when 2001 came around and we found out that Mike had a secret child, Courtney was like, Daddy. And Sonny's like, again, see this clip on YouTube. Their relationship was really Courtney and Mike's relationship was more solid than Sonny and Mike's. But like they said, towards the end, a child's worst fear is to bury their parent alive. Bury them while they're still alive. And a parent's worst nightmare is to bury their child while they're still living. We all have a relative that has either shaded us, done something wrong, or whatnot, but when they became sick, you start seeing the other side of them. The person full of regrets, that, wishes that things could be better. Like, oh, if I had this time, I would have done, we've all had gone down that road. General Hospital played every damn beat. Now,
pay attention, young and Restless, where you have an
because here's the thing. Y'all two started out, and I will say this, too. Young and Restless started first with the Alzheimer's and General Hospital, like, within weeks. It was 2 years. It was a 2-year arc. And I know some fans were saying, oh, God, kill off Mike. And we thought when they came back from the corona break, they would have done that. Let me just say this right now. I'm glad they didn't do it.
Me too.
I'm glad
I eat my words.
I'm glad they paid.
Anybody got crow, I'll eat it happily. Yes, me
I'll
too.
send it up to you. But I like the emotional connection with the storyline. And here's where I know some people, this is where the Christina part came in. When it was time, when Stella said everybody needs to get ready to say their final goodbye. Lord, I'm going to cry now. I did question where was Christina, because Christina is the biological grandchild. Now, with everybody jumping on Jocelyn, because I even said, Jocelyn is, she should be there, but she really, it should have been Christina too. Jocelyn is the step-granddaughter, and I want to say this because a lot of fans are coughing. You still can have a strong connection to a grandparent, even if you're the step-grandchild. Take it from me. I had a step-grandmother. I kept calling her my step-grandmother. I couldn't say grandmother. Like, there was times I could call her my grandmother. Like, say, you know what I'm saying? And
Candice, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I love the scenes with her and Mike. But it was the reason it felt so far-fetched, and first off, we never really saw it on screen. We never saw it on screen because of the history, and they left Christina completely out. And then had Molly talking about it, secondary. Don't even pull Christina on screen. Oh, Christina just lost her granddaddy. Boo. Let's make a guest list.
Well, let me say. Okay, so it was interesting because, when Jocelyn was thinking about the wedding, stuff like that, I was like, okay, wait a minute, we're taking it too far. Because, yes, she had a connection to Mike. Christina should have had that. If you couldn't have Christina on set, because from my understanding, she's in Port Charles right now. This is going to irk me in a minute. You have two granddaughters who Sunny or Ava could have brought in and had a monologue saying, you're not going to be there for when Avery gets married, and dream of Avery getting married. Or Donna, I was going to say Donna Joe, but I know that's not her name, but it's Donna, where Carly or Sunny.
Let's go with Donna Mills, but go on, yeah.
Donna Mills. Okay. You could have done that. I think that was the part that kind of made me feel a certain type of way because, like I said, again, nothing against step-grandparenting and grandchildren, but the fact is that Christina should have been there. And not only that, because it wasn't until, and this is so bad, I think for a lot of fans who saw Courtney, it also brought up the fact of where is Spencer?
Is Nicholas. Spencer, yes. And I'm sorry, but I got to say this. That he called Michael, and don't get me wrong, I like that cute little relationship that they had, Brooklyn and Mike, but that he calls Brooklyn and not his sister pissed me and a lot of fans off. Just have to say it. But I'm loving just about all the beats that General Hospital is playing right now, except for Nina and whatever the child will be, the twins that will be. You know it's going to be twins. We all know it's going to be twins, but I digress. He should have been calling his damn sister.
Candice, I know we're almost running out of time. What did y'all feel about Maxie and Brando's chemistry? Do you think they could be a possible steamy couple?
No.
I don't think that they... No, I mean, it's Michael and Maxie part 2. They set up the chemistry for you to have a little something, but when it all comes down, they're going to redeem Peter. They're going to make it that none of this has ever been Peter's fault. It's all been Alex.
No, Anthony. I know Pam is somewhere listening, but you know what the dream is. You know what the dream is. If you know how we just said, if somebody is behind door number 1, that this means that the Peter storyline might come to an end. I'm just going to say this about Brando. He's a very attractive young man. And I know mostly the majority of the GH fan base would say Molly, but here's my problem with that. This is why I couldn't get in with the Molly TJ. You rarely show Molly and TJ for me to get invested into Molly being with somebody else.
Oh, girl, please, you know where it's going. It's going to be Brando and Sam.
And I'm fine with that.
Oh, yes, please, don't tease.
Sam Doe. My thing is that they tested him with Kelly, with Haley.
And now with Maxie.
With Max.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, go ahead with it. Because here's Lord Jesus, how much time we got? Okay, I got time to say this. The truth is,
he doesn't even have to be in a relationship with them. Just the idea of having him as like a fall, December romance, even that'd still be a lot of fun. I mean, I'm loving that Sam's starting to branch out a little better. I see the difference in the way the pacing of the stories. So shout out for GH for doing that. I like that she's getting away from too much being around Jason. And every time I see her with Brando, it just gives me hope that they'll hook her up with Brando.
You know what? I love hearing. I love hearing this.
I'm gonna be the elephant. I'm gonna be the elephant because y'all know what's happening. Ingo's dropping off the canvas. They are playing the beats. It's Sonny and Carly, the breakup part, the 77 or whatever it means at this point. And they're gonna play with Laura Wright and Steve Burton, and finally put Sonny and Carly, Jason and Carly in that situation, and it's gonna drive Sam and Brando together, or Sam and Brando are gonna end up driving Jason into a funk. Carly's gonna have to rescue him. The secret's gonna come out about now. And boom, bang, bang, boom, we got a whole new set of playing couples.
And the reason we're saying this is that, okay, first and foremost, shout out to the Jason and Carly fans who've been waiting 25-plus years for y'all.
Yes.
This is probably perfect timing. Here's the thing, though. General Hospital, and I don't know if anybody has noticed this, but I will say it. They've learned, again, from the mistakes that they made going back a year ago to now. They've spruced up the Quartermaines.
Go on.
Well, you always got to have one. They spruced up the Quartermaines. You had a great storyline involving the Quartermaines with the whole baby thing, with Michael actually becoming a man, and now he's married and his wife is still alive. Look at Soap Jesus at work. You have stuff going on at the hospital. Britt is now the chief of staff. Praise you, Soap Jesus. Yes! You now have Monica and Bobby teaming up and being like, okay, guess what? I got you. We're not leaving this job, all right? You have real life situations.
Are you excited about Brad returning?
Brad,
Perry? Are you excited about Brad returning?
No. Are you, Candice?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Brad Cooper, the one that was with Lucas. Are you excited about him returning to GH?
Let me rephrase that. I said no, and the reason I said no is because they have never known truly what to do with him, and they have never played him the way he could and should have been played. So I think that they're just going to bring him in, trot him around. They're going to stir up a whole mess of suspense, especially with him and Britt, and then it's going to turn out into a big ball of nothing again.
Okay. And I'm saying yes, the way I'm saying it is because I'm still feeling a little salty about how the baby storyline played without more involvement of Brad and Lucas. Because I feel as though they're only, and this is nothing against Perry, and I don't want anybody to take this offense, but it is true. You have Britt returning. Britt and Brad were friends. Brad is, due to come out of jail anytime now, so I guess that's going to happen.
They're injecting humor into the GH again.
Well, here's the thing about the humor part of it. There's still some things that are not even funny, like this whole Ava, Nicholas, Franco, Liz mess. Again, four great actors who is turning a storyline that is pure chicken cuckoo and turning it to something good. They're finally playing Nicholas and Ava the correct way, even though no shade to Marcus, but I wish a certain TC was in this role. But they're playing that relationship the way it was supposed to be. But at the same time, you're kind of still not destructing Frizz, but you do have, like I said, the real-life situation of cuts at the hospital. Elizabeth lost her job. She's getting cut back hours. So, yeah, they're in a financial situation. Obviously, Franco is working at the hospital, too. They probably took away his job, too. But I don't think that with those four, they should have been in an entanglement. And because, to me, it just didn't make sense unless you bring in Lucky Spencer, played by I don't know who at this point. But
yeah. That's true. That's true. I got a final question for you on GH.
Okay.
Yeah, then we got to go to
see a baby? Would you like to see a baby for Ava and Nicholas or for Liz and Franco?
Oh, God, Ava and Nicholas. Liz got enough, and she deposits them in Grandma's attic, and she don't pick them up until they're 16. So, no, Ava and Nicholas, please. Now, let's jump on over to LA.
I'm all for Franco and Elizabeth because I need another child. I need Francesca, Audrey, Gail, Baldwin. Thank you.
All right. Let's jump over to the comic show. I mean, Bold and the Beautiful.
No,
shout out to Jacqueline. Jacqueline, you're doing a great job on being Steffi. Oh, my God. I love the scenes.
Okay, you know what? We're not even going to talk about the other story that's going on Bold and Beautiful because I can't stand that high school mess. Let's talk about the Steffi stuff. Woo! Woo! I'm so excited about the storyline, but you know
Candice,
what?
Candice, were you laughing? Were you laughing when Steffi is mimicking what's his name?
Liam.
Mm-hmm. When she's mimicking Liam like Liam, it's like, oh my God, I was cracking up with those things.
When I tell you
she's
that
mimicking to a T.
Here's the thing, okay, I'm going to just do this right now. Bold and Beautiful fans that are listening to this show, this is not Hope versus Steffi. This is not the Logans versus Steffi storyline. This is a storyline about a woman who's dealt with so much in her life, started by her parents on down, of disappointments, failures, and whatnot, and that
don't forget her sister.
And her sister. And I'm glad you said that. Here's how you knew something was about to happen. For the last couple of years, we have not heard about, we've heard Phoebe's name.
Once in a blue moon.
Yeah, once in a blue moon. Like that daughter, Kelly, should have been named Phoebe. Anyway, but the fact that, Steffi said the night that my sister died, half of me died with her. The fact that this woman, that Steffi, was involved into an accident that could have severely crushed her everything. Keep in mind, she's the CEO. She's a mother, okay? And there was something she said before she was on pills to Liam saying, I may not be able to hold my child again. And Liam said, well, we can help you out. Here's where co-parenting comes into play. Moving forward, okay. Anybody who's been hurt knows that sometimes you don't want to truly rely on pills. But when you have people constantly tell you, well, if you want to do this, you need to take these pills. If you want to do this, and knowing Steffi and how hard-headed she is because she's just like her grandmother, she went ahead and took it. And she ran out. Anybody knows you only get 14-day pills depending on the situation. Yes, they're rushing it a little too much with this addiction storyline, but let me just say this. They're playing certain beats. They're playing her emotions. And the fact that you got Thomas coming in there saying, oh, sis, I came as soon as I could. How dare you, Liam? Da-da-da-da-da. But yet you're talking to me saying, you still love Liam, don't you? Don't you wish you could be with Liam? All these, you don't. Like, Thomas is doing exactly what I wanted him to do. God bless him for doing this. Thomas is taking advantage of the situation. Steffi is so focused on the fact that everything has been taken away from her that she's not thinking clearly. When I say that if you're not a Liam fan, you must have became a Liam fan this week because Liam said everything. First and foremost, he said, you left bottle of pills where our child could reach them and swallow them. Any parent knows that's your worst nightmare right there. 2.
Oh, let's not forget the heartbreaking moment where Kelly's inside the car outside.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, now I'm gonna jump off the fence here. Dear Bold and Beautiful, you're not young and the Restless. Thank you. Public service announcement by Candice Mack. Because I was like, okay, he left by herself. Okay, we're not doing that. But I mean, I see. Look, I know I get flack for always, defending Brad Bell. But in this situation, I see where he's going at with it, and I'm enjoying it. But I do question, where is Taylor? Where's Ridge? Where's Eric? Yes, Brooke and Hope, the Logans. Yes, I understand, fans. You feel as though the Logans get everything and the Forces get tear down. My thing is the Forces has been tearing each other down since 1987. This is nothing new. Steffi versus Thomas is nothing new. It's in the DNA of siblings. You always have the top dog and the low dog. I do feel as though Steffi needs to slow her butt down especially because we don't know what kind of pills Vinny gave her. I like Finn, but I want to know more about Finn. I want to know about his past a little bit. Do I think Liam is jealous? No. This is not jealousy. This is being concerned. That's all I got to say.
I don't see him as jealous either. I see him as a concerned dad.
Yeah.
But you know what? This needs to be said. 2 months ago on this show, we said, Bold, where are you going? What are you doing? You are, you were drifting way off the campus yet again. You're going to go over the cliff and, all the things we said. And here we are, thoroughly and totally invested yet again. So just like the beginning of the baby storyline, a year and a half ago, they are setting up an arc that is going to play for a good 8-9 months. It's going to play well. So kudos. Abso-freaking-lutely, Liam. Girl, you know this. I don't dislike Liam, but I have never been a Liam fan. And this last week I said, oh, hello. And if they brought Thomas back as the savior for Steffi, I would have been done. I would have said, CBS, I love you, and I'll come back in a year and see where you are, but both of your shows will go off the...
It plays into the fact, again, with the baby story. You had Steffi against Thomas. Thomas is on a vendetta revenge tour for Steffi, Liam, and Hope. There was a reason he did what he did with Steffi. There was a reason what he did with Hope. And he certainly went off on Liam.
His daddy's in that revenge tour, too. We just haven't seen the ticky-ticky-boom-boom of that yet. But he's got a score to settle with his daddy, too. Sure does.
So stay tuned,
and his
beautiful
daddy's
fans.
on again, off again wife.
I've got a spoiler for The Bold and the Beautiful, and that is a family loved one returns, and I'm crossing my fingers that I'm hoping it's Dr. Taylor Hayes.
As Kristen Alfonso. And with that.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
That right? I've been saying that for the longest time now. I've been saying that even when she was on Days. Sorry, Days. Love you guys. I love Kristen Alfonso. But on that note, thank you for joining us, you guys. Make sure you guys follow us at Take Two Radio. Make sure you listen to our archives, especially tonight's show. It's been crazy. Shout out to David. Woo woo! You got this. Pam.
Shout out to Pam too. Yep.
Thank you for having me, guys. I had so much fun. Good night.
You're welcome. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys.
Tiki bye bye. Tiki bye bye.
Boom boom.